Okay, so the first problem I came up with was negative 4x plus 2 minus x minus 5. So I did these online, and you can see here that I've got negative 4 x's, so I've got 4 negative x's, and then my 2 units, and then this is what we are going to be subtracting from the top number. So we're subtracting 1 positive x and 5 negative units. So obviously we don't have any positive x's up here, so we need to do a 0. So we're going to put a positive right there. So we've now turned this into a 0 to make that work. So we are taking away the positive. Boop. So now we have a negative x. That works like that. And then we got to do the same thing for the units. We need to have 5 zeros so that we can take away 5 negatives. So I'm just turning in what was my negative 5 units into 5 zeros. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to take away the negatives so that I'm left with 5 positives because I've taken away negative numbers. So take away. And there. So then this is what we're left with. Now we're going to go ahead and regroup these so that they're easier for counting and combining. So now we are left with 5 negative x and 7 units. So we've got negative 5x plus 7 is our answer. There we go. So for my second problem, I did 2x squared minus x minus 1. It took me a while to find a problem that I could figure out the square or rectangle shape that it would form. So this is what I have. As you can see, they're already kind of in the shape that I'm aiming for, but we have gaps in here. So we have to fill them in with zeros. So we've got, before we do that, we've got 2x squared, sorry, and then 1 negative x and 1 negative unit. So we've got 2x squared minus x minus 1. So let's go ahead and add our zeros so that we can make this square complete to be able to factor it down. So we're going to go ahead and add a positive x and then a negative x into our shape so that we get a nice, beautiful rectangle. And that still gives us the same number. We're still left with 2x squared minus x minus 1. Now we're able to figure out what the factors are. So I start with x, and I like to leave a gap right here just because that way there's no confusion on what was my original shape and what is my factorization. So we've got 1x there, and then a unit, and then we've got 1x here. Make sure we get it lined up nicely. 1 more x, and 1 last unit. So now we've got all the right shapes, but wait, this doesn't make sense. We've got negatives here, so that means that has to be negative because a negative times a positive equals a negative. If this is positive, 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 negative, negative. So that's how that works. All right, so then now that we've got our perfect square, we've got all of our factors on here, we know that to get to the number of 2x squared minus x minus 1, the factors are 2x, see we got 2x's right here, plus 1 times x minus 1. Ta-da!